Welcome to another episode from the InfoSec Philosophy and Theory series. This will be an article reading with a map. I'm excited about this one. This is a big one for Bitcoin, big one for Web3 and new energy development, and it brings together a lot of concepts that I continue to work on, even though this article is from 2 years ago at the time of this recording. So here it is. Well, that's the article, but I wanted to show the map first. Here's the map. Wild map. The title, A Decentralized Security Call for Web3 New Energy Development, or NFTs as Virtual Plasma. I like to start with this funky diagram here. Big drawing. For those tuned in visually, I recommend it. Let's just say here that there exist cypherpunks who create cryptography. Out of that comes distributed ledger technology, or the blockchain, decentralized finance and regenerative finance. Then within that we have non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, inside decentralized autonomous organizations, which are inside virtual, either human and artificial environments, or augmented and mixed realities, which are basically virtual environments or realms themselves, which are inside metaverses. A metaverse is a planetary virtual world, for example, and so on. And so you see, the main intention of this diagram is to show their interrelations. They're not separate things. They're actually usually this helps in the discussion of understanding what each one of these items or concepts is. However, they also exist outside of this mapping for sure. But when they do exist outside of this mapping, well, it's just helpful to compare and contrast. Now, the article, what will it be about? Well, mental orders, significance for InfoSec professionals. So in Web3, and as developers working on solutions for example, new energy problems and issues, this is the most attacked sector. You need to know this, especially when you're doing reconnaissance of the web applications of these organizations that these web developers work for. Now, on the bright side here, because this is all about the secret layer in InfoSec work, this is the dark side just mentioned, but on the light side, we do have Bitcoin. The technologies behind it are rooted in mental health, because these new technological tool sets are for those with a conscience. And it was the first blockchain weavings, math on telecom, introducing new IoT solutions, new business paradigms. So I've outlined here in pink that it is the open source knowledge that can transform global economic energy, right? Because Bitcoin is an open source project. So decentralized hardware, I've even noted this in a special way, in holistic ecological thriving. By that I mean, in one sentence, the fact that one needs to care. Nobody needs to do anything. When one cares for reality, which is the nature of life on Earth, then one sees that, in fact, it is the physical reality, that stems from the spiritual reality. So taking care of the hardware that runs Bitcoin is actually essential to having Bitcoin at all. So no virtual world can exist at the moment without electricity and computing devices. So those computing devices and electricity need to be in an environment that is conducive to them existing. So I actually developed that in other articles and episodes. So electricity and the digital signal is the malleable quantum plasma of Bitcoin. So, cryptography is the best friend of InfoSec professionals. The private keys are actually signed symbols and tokens. So how they relate here in the practical world of humanity and civilization. So decentralized finance, the moving of digital objects, permanent structures in Web3 virtual realms. So NFTs are actually building blocks of crypto-identities. So the secure way of presenting your, well, I'll connect it to metaphysics right now. So your personal vibration, the prime number that one can be represented through a type of mathematics. Although it is a fact that numbers themselves are vibrations. So NFTs, and so this relates to private keys and cypherpunks, and cryptography, which relates to the malleable quantum plasma of Bitcoin, which is this and that. So this map helps you see that these things are all interconnected. So as InfoSec professionals, if you're just, securing a website and you're doing bug bounty hunting, well, if you want to do this like as if you're working, for Rolls-Royce, the equivalent of Rolls-Royce in web applications, well, you can understand this. So next here, well, any data on a website, the ubiquitous doorway into virtual realms at the moment in one's pocket, on a cell phone, is an NFT, realistically. That's what NFTs are. They're building blocks of the virtual metaverse realms, or they're the initial beginnings of such things. Now, let's get back to me for a second. There I am. And now let's go to the article. There it is. Let's start reading. A decentralized security call for Web3 new energy development. Published in Cyberpower Talanoia. NFT header. Mental orders. Human mental disorders are a global problem. In their most destructive personifications, they are a primary concern for information security circles, InfoSec. This intelligence sector deals with attack vectors of malicious entities in all projects which are aimed at resolving significant global challenges such as wars, poverty, the ecological crisis, and the destructive possibilities of artificial intelligence, AI. As an example, the architects of new Web3 internet technologies, which are being designed to assist in the development of new, clean, renewable, and efficient energy sources, new energy, are the most attacked sector in contemporary civilization. Energy is the most valuable asset in all places where people live, and vulnerabilities in its chain of origin can be found at any point where humans are involved. People with a need for profit are everywhere, but people with an alternate working knowledge of electricity and new sources of electrical energy are mostly to be found in conspiracy theories. Not questioning this means you are probably a taxpayer. Questioning this means you are the reason transnational surveillance exists, even if you pay taxes. A security solution. Here I offer a link in the article. I think it goes to my on the blockchain another article on Mirror XYZ. Let's see, why isn't it loading? Okay, it's loaded. How to scale defueling globally by The Sky is High. And it's published on the Arweave blockchain, March 24th, 2022. And right, so actually I'll read this. It's a paragraph. A working solution for the research, development, and distribution of transnational knowledge and prototypes of new energy sources has been found through a strict adherence to all of the following simultaneously. Open sourcing. Application of decentralized technologies and liquid finances of a secure virtual Web3 environment with no single ownership of a project beyond 49%. Transnational co-development. Live public broadcasting to wide audiences during significant technological advancements. And a personal shift in spiritual attunement. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and and adherence to these in a strict way is the solution for the research, development, and distribution of transnational knowledge and prototypes of new energy sources. I believe I'll be using this for the electrical energy distribution audit as well. Back to the article. Mental health and Bitcoin. On the side of mental health and technology is Bitcoin. It is a living psychological disclosure, a shift in awareness, providing new technological tool sets for those with a conscience. It is open source knowledge. Its open source knowledge has the power to transform global economic energy. It is the most disruptive technology in existence because it unbanks individuals within minutes and advances humanity's understanding and appreciation of electrical energy. Notably, its underlying technology may be the second most attacked innovation after the energy sector. The attack methods are primarily psychological, centered around the acquisition of currency, and rooted in fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And here I also link to attack vectors. I'll wait for that to load and read the next paragraph. Bitcoin's skeleton is its physical architecture of decentralized hardware. DeHa, they call it. It is this dispersion in the physical environment that helps secure its power. Physical nodes at various locations allow Bitcoin to exist and people to claim financial sovereignty. This type of hardware runs distributed ledger technology, DLT, which in its virtual event horizon is where electricity meets the digital signal, a malleable substance, the quantum plasma of Bitcoin. In this case, it's been called blockchain. I'm just waiting for the list of attack vectors to load there. I wonder why it's not coming up as fast. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to do something for a moment. So what's not loading is the list of attack vectors. Basically, in that list is the fact that at any time something can cease to be accessible. Right, and dozens of other attack vectors are listed there. It's quite curious how that's happening. And it's on the blockchain. So everything can go down, right? So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Everything can be down at one point. So the first blockchain weavings. As the most popular type of virtual plasmic weaving of DLT, blockchain is a mathematics on top of telecommunications, which allows for many new things, certainly an Internet of Things, IoT, including new versions of existing paradigms and new business models for a thriving and sustainable planetary existence for those healthy enough to be able to quantify the magic into practice. Some new DLTs are now more advanced than Bitcoin's blockchain. This depends on many emergent factors such as particular needs and implementation strategies. The unique computers that make Bitcoin possible, application-specific integrated circuits, ASICs, are basically guessing random numbers in a way that no other computers can. By doing so, they perpetuate the Bitcoin network's existence and create new Bitcoins. A mind was first to design the ASICs. What kind of mind? How do we know what kind of mind and its intentions? A first answer is the open source nature of the code forming Bitcoin. One can freely participate in the formation of the logic, the mental nature of the psyche, and the mechanics. This is significant because the abstract power of Bitcoin computation is enabling the reorganization of society. Previously impossible businesses are now possible. In order for this to continue, the difficulty of this computation continues to rise, as do the energy requirements. This is why and how the Bitcoin movement is at the forefront of innovation in computation and renewable energy research. The cryptographic surface. A name for the surface of this malleable virtual plasma is cryptography. There are various methods of weaving the plasma to make things, somewhat like molecular or quantum architecture. At first, this crypto-mathematics enables the equivalent of the creation of a physical reality of objects in virtual digital space. Pulses of electric ones and zeros identify unique things, objects without location or ownership. At a multi-layered level, cryptography then enables the formation of digital versions of locations and digital ownership of unique digital objects. The understanding of this is paramount to the next iteration of the Internet, in which we can already build unstoppable domains and unstoppable front ends running on decentralized hardware storage, DHoST, and decentralized software, DSO protocols. I'm just making those acronyms up just for fun. The new business logic of this kind of coding is a combination of legal and programming structures called smart contracts. Cryptographing the facts. In order to build permanent structures in Web3 virtual realms, the virtual malleable substance needs to harden, to transmute through mathematics. For this reason, cryptography enables the creation of private keys. These are secret codes, the master code being known only to the owner of a building block. In financial applications, such keys can be used as wallets or pointers to unique locations acting as repositories on a decentralized distributed network, such as the Bitcoin blockchain. It is cryptography that enables an entity to take full responsibility for the security of the master key and the public visibility of a wallet's existence. In a cryptic way, cryptography is also the connection between physical and virtual worlds at specific locations in time and space. An understanding of this is significant for those who care and have a conscience regarding the sustainability of the innovative frontiers of civilization. This is because Web3 accountability can now include a transparent provenance record for all to see. It is already possible to request the tracing of supply chain information for selected markets. With further advocacy and re-education strategies focused on the decentralization of mental health resources and sustained technological and digital literacy, more people may request that all significant sources of origin be disclosed for those fields which continue to oppress thriving. This is how it becomes possible to foresee future success in the research and development of new energy technologies. A disintegration of rampant mental disorders is also expected to take place in order to decentralize positions of control, which so attack vectors that prevent solutions to significant global challenges. Now, between nodes, decentralized finance, DeFi, is the ability to move digital objects, such as cryptographic currencies and tokens, between locations enabled by private keys weaved into public keys. Decentralized hardware infrastructure is a strength of Web3 hardware stack. It's the ability to transact with virtual goods over any physical spaces at the speed of thought. As envisioned with the Internet of Things, IoT, a node may act as an interface to the physical environment through outgoing data, streaming hands, data storage as brain, and data sensing as senses. The spirit of these machines is lifted by the telecommunications running the software in a decentralized and distributed way. Nifty NFTs, non-fungible token NFT, is a transitional name, a financial term for a building block of this emerging internet. Expect this name to shift in the future, possibly through a sudden viral meme event. NFT should be the term used for a unique digital financial object in virtual reality. Well, nifty is also a word that's being used. I think that was started by Laura Shin on the Unchained podcast. Credit to her. Most important note of this article: as only one pen can exist in one particular location in physical reality, here's mine visually, it follows that in the same way, only one unique, indivisible NFT can exist in a particular location in the entire virtual world. That is the meaning of non-fungible, whereas token simply refers to a digital object within human sense perception and may require a separate theoretical explanation. If only one exists in any one reality, then it is the only one in that reality, virtual or physical. An NFT can be formed from any data of any digital object one can encounter on any website. It can be text, image, video, audio, a property, a function, code itself, a color scheme, layout, and the interaction of any of these in any way with anything else pulsing virtually. It is all virtual plasmic weaving with cryptography. Some use the words on-chain for being on the blockchain, a strong decentralized cryptographic weaving. In digital semiotics, cryptography enables the creation of signs, symbols, and tokens, all with different applications in reference to digital objects. Most NFTs are cryptographic signs pointing to the content, data, of the digital object. Right, so that is the NFT header here, as you see. That is this on OpenSea. That is just a pointer. Right, so let's get back to the article here on the bottom. And so some NFTs are symbols which are compressed versions of the full version of the content. So the above header is not that. It is just a cryptographic sign pointing to the content of the digital object. Now, so that's a sign. Next was the description of a symbol. And now a token is a limited edition of the original, but not necessarily unique. A real NFT is unique and fully stored within itself, meaning that it contains all of itself. Significant then becomes the permanent, unstoppable, decentralized data storage for NFTs. To make true NFTs, one must store the data in the right way. The interplanetary file system, IPFS, was designed for this, but has its own challenges which are being pursued by top theoreticians and developers. For the mind expansion now, an NFT can be the source code of a group of self-replicating virtual entities capable of emergence, adaptation, fuzzy logic, and the artificial life which interacts with organic life in the physical environment. That is news to any InfoSec professional. 10 seconds of silence now for the vast majority of popular NFTs showing no signs of conscience for global issues. Okay, and here I'm showing the original concept map sketch for this article, and an NFT is also available. The value of NFT goods. NFTs are the building blocks of the virtual realities which can be mixed and augmented in the decentralized metaverse. They are the digital goods. The highest quality of goods will transcend distributed ledger technology and blockchains. They are the components of our crypto-identities, woven and pulsing in the reflection of civilization inside virtual environments for as long as the current paradigm of electrical energy and computer science persists. I'm just going to show the map for a moment that I'm relating this here, that NFTs are, components of our crypto-identities, right? They're the building blocks, the permanent structures, right? They have the private keys. We have the private keys, which is the cryptography, which is the malleable quantum plasma of Bitcoin, and so on, and how that relates to electricity, money, and the light and the dark sides of humanity. So back to me. There I am, but we really want the article. Here it is. So the NFTs are the components of our crypto-identities, woven and pulsing in the reflection of civilization inside virtual environments for as long as the current paradigm of electrical energy and computer science persists. Whoa, yeah, and 2024, this paradigm, there is news that even from the U.S. Senate, this is summertime as I record this, there is news from them that this paradigm will be broken soon. There is a possibility that this paradigm may not persist because we have evidence of a suppression of the science of electricity itself, the pinnacle of the deepest conspiracy theories. Nevertheless, data is becoming the new energy source as value shifts into the virtual. The global virtual interconnected realm is the emerging Internet of Value. IoT is more of the physical infrastructure. By creating NFTs, we are raising the awareness of consensus of value in the permanence of virtual quantum weaving. The pulse of the virtual realm is connected to physical reality because it needs people and electrical energy to run. People can be destroyed within a day by artificial intelligence, by misaligned unsafe artificial intelligence, I'll say at this point, when it reaches singularity, apparently within our lifetimes. Or artificial general intelligence, AGI, as it is otherwise can be known. There are such warnings by top minds today because they understand mental order and mental disorder. Nevertheless, electrical power will still be necessary. At this point, for this reason, when you look at Bitcoin technology behind all of Web3, then it is possible to begin to see that it is not a cryptocurrency but rather digital gold, the data, and the power in itself. NFTs are the building blocks of our online identities and virtual space itself. They are the digital goods of the Web3 economy. Again, the value of these goods should be treasured by caring people, humans who at the foundation care for life on the planet before weaponization or profit. This is due to the ability to create unstoppable artificial life. Organizing autonomous decentralization. NFTs are increasingly used in the landscape design of decentralized autonomous organizations. These are community-driven legal structures, new types of businesses, which can run outside of system parameters if needed. For one, the new energy sector does have a need because more people care more than governments and institutions. DAOs interconnect human communities with virtual environments. These are often game-like environments with fluid communities whose assets are managed by contributors. Members in these communities may have liquid pools of capital to govern. Groups of members may also use tokens to govern the protocol, allocate capital, prevent collusion, and automate markets. Their crypto-identities are on-chain, and reputations are woven into new legal structures. NFTs then play the role of building blocks of a new society based on virtual goods assembled by those who care in a bottom-up market. How might an idea meritocracy work in such an environment? Good question. Building on care from disclosure to virtual world. The planetary virtual world contains virtual environments, or realms created from virtual realities designed by people, artificial realities designed by virtual entities, mixed realities, interconnection of physical and virtual, augmented realities, ameliorating interaction with physical, etc. At this point, I'll just whisper that it helps to view the paragraph and the map about these interrelations I just read. Any of these can be a metaverse, an interconnected realm. Together, they can form multiple metaverses. So again, just on the map for a moment, I am showing this here, how we have metaverses. In the metaverses, we have realms of various virtual types. And in those, we have autonomous organizations. In those, we have NFTs. And that creates decentralized finance, etc. So back to the article. NFTs may stand alone or form the building blocks of DAOs. These in turn can stand alone or form the building blocks of virtual realms. Such are the emerging online worlds which contain DAOs, which contain NFTs, which contain decentralized financial instrumentation, DeFi, which is built of DLT blockchains on the cryptography of cypherpunks. By purchasing cryptocurrencies, By purchasing cryptocurrencies for mere profit, one is gambling with life on Earth by ignoring what these tools were created for. And one is also messing with the plasmic weaving in the mathematics of global solutions. The current case of the majority of people seeking profit calls for an increase in the security of the development of projects aimed at establishing a sustainably thriving ecosystem for life on Earth, the aim of the original Bitcoin disclosure. In other words, the call is for objective mental equanimity, a real world on the opposite side of the spectrum from the deployment of nuclear warfare. This article was published under Web3, Bitcoin, NFT, DAO, and cryptography on Medium. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoy this podcast, do check out bitcoinsecuritymaps.com. Offer support on the Nostr clients that we use. And check out fountain.fm and other apps that enable you to tune in just to the audio and or the video available on YouTube. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the meetups.